Hey y'all, I wanted to come on. I set this 12 o'clock so we could talk about the Crockpot plays. I saw a lot of y'all coming in Crockpot, and I know a lot of y'all might be like, "What is a Crockpot play?" Well, your Crockpot play is different. Like I'm a day trader. I know majority of you guys are like, "Oh, I don't have time to day trade. I don't want to look at the charts all the time, but I do want to make money," and that's fine. A lot of us don't have that opportunity or flexibility to be able to day trade. So I like to throw together some of the crock pot plays. Crock pot plays are just like what they sound like. When we put some in a crock pot, it comes out savory, falls off the bone, tastes really good. And it tastes better than something you would pop in the microwave, kind of like your day trading. Day trading can be cool, but sometimes those crock pot plays can be a lot better. So I wanted to break down like some of the background on how I found the crockpot plays we're going to go over today and go over a couple of terms. Doing the stock market checkup series, I am doing ABCs of the stock market. So we're going to go over letter D while we're online. But let's jump right into it. I want to give people a little bit of time to come in. Drop your comments below and y'all let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see this okay. Again, I'm trying out something new with going through StreamYard and then to Facebook. So if you can see it, drop a one in the comments and if wherever you're tuning in. So I'll give people a little bit of time to come in before I get started. This replay will not be up forever. So make sure you join the live. Make sure you're watching it here. This will probably be transitioned over to YouTube or TikTok. Just trying to give it a minute so I can share this out with everybody. So I don't want you guys to miss it. For some reason, it's not letting me share from Facebook, but we'll see how it goes. So the screen that I have up right now is the earnings for this week. And this is what led me to the Crockpot plays. Earnings, what are earnings? Most of you have never traded, so you probably don't know what earnings are. So earnings is when a company reports how they're doing for the past 3 quarters. This is like a company's report card. They come in, have to let us know how they're doing as far as the business, as far as their earnings, their revenue, and then they give guidance. They could be like, hey, we did good, we hit revenue, and then like, but next quarter is not going to be great. That could cause the share price to come down. So I was taking a look at some of these companies, getting sentiment on how they're going to play out. A lot of people are very bullish on Palantir, and Palantir fell. I think they're down under 200 right now. They may be popping back up. Also, AMD, AMD with the chip sector, all of those industries are really running and boosting right now just due to AI. Pfizer is at all time lows right now, so I'm interested to go back and go listen to them because I may want to start acquiring some shares. I mean, they're just a long time staple company. HUT with Bitcoin mining. Actually, let me go take a look at HUT. Why I got Shaw in the background, but let's see how HUT was playing out. I'll put that up on the hourly. Yeah, HUT looks good after earnings and after the last few weeks. They've been bullish. They're about to hit a high up here that may cause some concern at about 57, but we still got room to run. I'm just looking at the chart from a blanket, but take a look at HUT. Let's go back. Also, we have Humana. Healthcare is going to be a big one. We're going into the cold and flu season, so we're going to just see how they've been playing out. Haven't had any major breakthroughs lately, but you're going to see cancer. You're going to see weight loss. Those are going to be the biggest avenues for people to want to come and take advantage and make some money. But one of the major ones that I was looking at was Robinhood. So Robinhood, most of the people who start to day trade or start to learn how to trade, their first place is to go get a Robinhood account and start trading. And majority of the time they lose their money. But Robinhood is making more and more advances. I just received an email with them. One of my biggest things was like, hey, don't trade those power hour uh, last minute trades on Robinhood because your trades are going to be closed out. With that being said, Robinhood just sent the email out saying, hey, you got an extra 15 minutes to extend out those contracts, hold them, or even take a trade. So that's a big deal. And that was a big thing to promote right before earnings is coming out. So we're going to see how they're faring. They're doing everything to increase revenue. They pushed out Legend last time. So on the midst of looking at Hood and looking at the contracts, I did not like the option chain. And most of you may not know what an option chain is. So when you trade options, you're trading contracts on that particular company. So when we look at the contracts, let me make sure you guys can see this. Perfect. All right. When we're looking at contracts, I'm just going to type in Hood, which is Robinhood's ticker symbol. And a lot of times when we're trading around earnings, there can be a lot of volatility and an influx in the option chain. So right now, trading $600 for Hood, and if I get the 142 for calls, if I'm bullish, this is going to cost me 605. I'll make $49 for every dollar that it moves, but I have like such high theta. That's $115. No, it looks like $1.15 to the negative. That's $115 worth of theta. I don't want to incur that. Even if I come over on the put side, and I could probably come down to the 138, got good volume and open interest. The delta's 41, and the theta is still over $115. So I was like, yeah, no, Hood maybe do good, but I'm not seeing it. I said, okay, let me go see about the sympathy play. So the other broker that I'm always promoting is Webull, and that's the one I'm showing you this option train on. So we'd want to look at Bull. So I said, if I think Robinhood is going to run, might get a little sympathy in Webull, so let me go look at the chain. So coming over here to look at Webull's chain, I was like, okay, not bad, super affordable. This thing doesn't move fast, so it's why I say it's a crockpot play. We're going to be in this play, letting it marinate. So this is this week's contract. With a company like Bull that doesn't move that much in a day, we want to go out another week. The best one is to pick your monthly. So I'm going to go look at that monthly contract. And when I was looking at this with a client, I was like, what's going on here? Why? There's something that stands out. So I told them, hey, look at this chain and tell me what stands out. So I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to look at this. If anybody's taking a course with me, they know what stood out. But y'all take a look at this screen and tell me what kind of looks not like the other ones. What is totally different? What stands out to you in trading? Y'all got it yet? Trying to give y'all a few more minutes. All right. So the thing that stood out to me on the chain, and then I just noticed that my little box might be in the way. So let me move that around a little bit. Oop, I wasn't trying to move that one. There we go. So let me push this up a little more. This is what really stood out to me on this chain. So if Bull is trading at $9 and people are setting up with a high open interest on this $15 strike, and it's super cheap, instead of me trading Hood, I can come get one of these contracts for less than $10. If it moves a dollar, I make 7, and I have a very low theta. It's almost negligible at 1. So I was like, that stands out to me. I like that as one of my crock pot plays. So that's on my radar right now. Bull, $15 call, 11/21 expiration, just because the high interest. So I got a little bit more confirmation. I said, let me dig into this a little bit deeper. And I went to my expiration date that I like the most right now is January 16th. When I hopped over here to January 16th, what do you see? Boom, right at the 15 strike again. We got twice as much, and the contract is still under $100. So if you want to get your feet wet with your first trade, this one is big on my radar. It's less than $50. Market's down right now, so that's good. So we can get a good price. And for every dollar that this moves, let's just hypothetically say that Bull gets up to like $12. So we get a $3 move. For every dollar that it moves, we're going to get 23. And we're only affected by this by less than a dollar. Like this is almost a dollar at theta. So this is why these two contracts are on the top of my list right now. So I wanted you guys to see that. Other crock pot plays that I have in mind are my go-to right now is SoFi. SoFi has just been churning and churning and churning away. So I like them bullish. They keep making strides. And I come and look at the chain. I like them at 30. I like them at 32. And I like them at 34. The 34 strike, sorry, 35. So 30, 32, and 35 just due to the chain. Contracts are affordable. Delta looks great. Theta is very negligible. I've been inside of the January strike for quite some time now, and I did back in May give you all the 20 strike. There was a whole lot of activity right there, so that's what made it top of my mind. We're well over 20 right now. That contract is well over, I think, 800%. If we keep pushing, again, we come out to those contracts, I'm in the 40. Before, we could only see the 44 strike down here. Now, market makers, as we keep churning, we've opened up to 47. And I'm pretty sure I have all my strikes on. So the closer and closer we get, and the more strides that SoFi makes, they open up this chain. So that's why I like these contracts. Delta for every dollar. Let's just hypothetically say you buy the 40 strike, you can get it for $100, $105. You get it for 105. You're telling the market, hey, you got your January 16th to move toward 40. And every dollar that it moves toward 40, you're going to make 23. So boom, like I'm giving it so much time to make this kind of stride. And my theta, which is kind of like your fee to hold a contract, is very small. So that's why I like this play as well. It's going to fluctuate if the market moves or any news comes out as far as banking or interest rates, but it has been faring very well. So again, we have Bull and we have SoFi. I also wanted to give you guys a little bit of education, and that's going into companies that are performing well and companies that are performing bad. A lot of people think, oh, it's just, markets just go up, they can't do bad, but that's just not true. And one of those, which comes to my letter of the day, which is delist, is when a company is delisted. If a company stays under $1 consecutively for 30 days, they will be delisted. And that brings to a company that just had earnings, or are they about to have it this week? Before I kind of poop on them. But I'm looking at Beyond Meat. They report earnings after hours, but BYND. Beyond Meat is almost out of here. Like they're almost beyond the point of return. This thing has just been dropping and flopping. And again, it just goes in the range of how people are faring. Like people can be vegan, and people can want to be health conscious, but do they want to eat fake meat? And that's all I saw. Like Beyond Meat was a great gimmick into getting into the vegan crowd and about being healthy. But if you're putting all these other chemicals to make fake meat, is it really a better alternative? I think not. And the chart and the people in the stock are saying they don't think so either. So again, would we trade Beyond Meat? Is just an opportunity. This chain is probably just going to be horrible. If they get under a dollar, I mean, they're just barely inching about not being delisted. So again, one of the letters of the day is delisting. And just by definition, a stock can be delisted for failing to meet minimum bid price requirements, most commonly by staying below $1 for 30 consecutive trading days on a major exchange like the NASDAQ. We look at companies on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. So if this thing drops below $1, it's going to get bad out here for them. And I just don't believe in them. They might get a little bit of pump later on, but we shall see. But let's look at their option chain, see if it's worth even mentioning. Oh, one of my screens. 1 second. Let me get back in here. So if I was to trade them, I would probably say they could move $1. But look at this chain. So maybe a $2 strike. There's a lot of people in here for calls though. I mean, it doesn't cost but $5, so you can't beat it. If you say it's gonna go down to $1, it's $3 to trade it. They might get you in at 5, but it is a highly volatile, um, just poor stock. Let me go out here. Let's reduce some of the volatility for us and just go out for a week. And let's just say I think I'm super bearish on this. I get $1 put. It's gonna cost me $10. What do I have to lose? If they go up $1, I can get the 17. I can get the $2 strike, or I would probably just go with $1.50. We're not gonna make this thing work too much harder than it is. But the chain looks decent. But I'm just interested to see how they're gonna turn this around. Beyond breaking investigation, beyond meat impairment charge. Let's see what this is about. All right. Beyond breaking investigation, Beyond Meat impairment charge triggers securities fraud investigation after stock plummets 23%. Woo! They got something going on. That's why that thing is so low. So just back in, this was really, really recent. So in this news, the price of Beyond Meat dropped roughly 23% from $2.84 per share on October 23rd to $2.18. And we can see since that date, they're well below that amount now. So people are not really invested in this due to that investigation. I would definitely probably, again, paper trade or get you like a $10, this little $10 put. This thing's about to, go even lower. If you got questions if this is making sense for you, or if it's not, drop them in the comments. I know some people are on lunch, some people don't take lunch until 1. So you may be catching this on the replay. If you're catching it on the replay, definitely comment replay. Definitely comment replay. So we've had one of our letters for the day, which was delist. The next one's going to be dividend. So I like, even though I like SoFi, they don't have dividends yet, but there are a lot of companies out here that provide dividends. So what are dividends? Dividends provide you with like a little bit of bonus for holding a company share. So dividends get you paid. It's like residual is sleep money. You get paid just for being a share owner. A dividend is a reward some companies pay to their shareholders. Reinvest it or let it compound and let it work its magic. That's all you have to do. There are a lot of great companies that provide dividends, some better than others. And if y'all like that and y'all want me to go over some dividend performing companies, drop a comment and say dividend, and I'll definitely bring that up as well. Like, again, I'm going to keep bringing a lot of education because, again, I understand that people can't afford to purchase or don't have the time to learn. So I want to bring this content so you guys can learn, be able to afford to learn, and then make some money. And once you start making money, then you're going to come back and be like, hey, I made a couple of dollars because I followed one of Dr. Chaz's play. Now I can come back and do a one-on-one with her, learn exactly what I did, why it happened, all of those things. So remember, we got Bull, $15 call, 1121 in the 116. We also have SoFi. You can be looking at the SoFi 35, SoFi 40. I'm also in the SoFi 1121 35 strike. And that contract had already gone to 100% as well. So keep a lookout for those. Hey, it's letting me know that you guys can't see it. I hope you guys are seeing it. Like I said, I'm doing something different coming in from StreamYard, so I hope it's making its way to you. Again, we're testing out stuff. If you guys don't see it, I'll have to come back on and do it again. And I don't mind it. Again, I'm testing out using StreamYard for this. So I'm hoping you guys are being able to see it. Again, I don't see people coming in on the view, so it might be something on my end. But if not, we'll end this stream, come back and do it just straight through Facebook if you're having problems. But if you can see it, drop a comment, drop where you're coming in from if you can see this. I also wanted to talk about one of my plays. I just called 100% play inside of the mogul algo. The mogul stock group on Discord. We give signals, set everybody up, walk them through the trade. We got 100% taking a 677 put on spot, and that trade just went out of here. I also went over one of the strategies, letting people know, hey, don't panic. When you miss your exit, you can always get back in. And so, yeah, we broke that play down. I might have to end this one because I don't think people are being able to see it. And I'll just come back in on Facebook and do it again. Sorry, we're having so much trouble today.